Welcome back, Monday TTS Daily with me, Yi. As you can hear, I have a bit of a sore throat, so my voice is a bit raspy. 3 stories, Singapore stories. First up, an update on Lim Xinyi Jermaine, who went missing and has been found, but there was some startling backstory that you might be interested to know more. Secondly, we have this mysterious note being posted in quite a few lift lobbies in Serangoon, Singapore. And lastly, the man who actually stole from his buddy, his 62-year-old female buddy who was bedridden, unable to speak or move. Let's kick things off. Breaking news, Lim Xinyi Jermaine has been found according to the SPF, Singapore Police Force. And for viewers out there who thought that she looked familiar, you are right. She actually went missing almost 2 years ago when she was 14 years old, as you can see here. And if you were to see our comments section, it is pretty wild as people are really becoming detectives and speculating the reasons of why she went missing. There are alleged reasons for, maybe family issues, and even some alleging that maybe she was just staying at the home of someone, maybe her boyfriend or what, we do not know, but these are all alleged reasons, and we can't even confirm conclusively whether she belongs to that secondary school, although she was last seen 6:55 AM outside that school. But the main thing is, if you are a missing person for over 2 months, that means I'm going to assume you didn't go to school for your age. And going to school for your age right now is the most important thing that you should be doing. So if you have issues, whether is it home related or outside related, go speak to a counselor. And if you want to spread awareness, help share awareness, and you have a story to tell, contact us. Thank you for watching our first coverage. If you enjoy watching us, take note we have a focus and spotlight on Singapore news with the rest of the world and Asia, of course. As of now, more than 92% of our viewers are still unsubscribed. So please give us your consideration, press a like and subscribe if you could. Thank you very much. On to the next story. And we're still in Singapore, where we have this cautionary note here posted at Serangoon at the lift lobby, where there were actually several of these notes posted on several lift lobbies of several HDB flats in Serangoon. I hope it wasn't all handwritten, they could actually photocopy it, but looking at the shade of color, it looks like it was really all handwritten. Anyway, it says that Wi-Fi is a form of radiation and it is harming our health in silence. Please turn it off when you don't need it. And we have to fact check that, and apparently, the form of radiation that we are using from our Wi-Fi routers, mobile phones and what forth, tablets and so forth, is actually well below the safety limits. So don't worry about it. And even if you were to close the Wi-Fi for your devices like Wi-Fi routers, to be honest, Wi-Fi range can range up to 30 to 45 meters. It could even be decreased due to walls and so forth. But the main thing is, your neighbors up and down, left and right to you are also enabling their Wi-Fi devices, and it will still seep through the walls, and there's just no way to really effectively hide from this Wi-Fi radiation. But take note, these are not the harmful kind, okay? These are just basically radiation from, it's not the harmful ionizing radiation associated with things like X-rays or nuclear sources. So don't worry, everything that's around us, it is well below safety limits. In July 2024, while working as a physiotherapist assistant at Farrer Park Hospital, Mingyan, 34-year-old Singaporean, actually took 197 Singapore dollars from a petty cash box. He spent it on himself and told police that he did so out of habit. But this is no story about 197 Singapore dollars. This is a story about 54,000 Singapore dollars. This is your last story of the day. Follow us for more. So Mingyan, 34-year-old Singaporean, has been sentenced on September 8, 2025 to 18 months and 2 weeks in jail, plus a 30,000 Singapore dollars fine after pleading guilty to charges in unauthorized access to the Computer Misuse Act, assisting a loan shark, and misappropriating cash. 2 additional charges were also considered during sentencing. Now, his victim was actually a close friend of Yi. The victim was a 62-year-old female Singaporean, Yi's former colleague and close friend who was bedridden, unable to move or speak due to undisclosed medical issues, and is permanently warded at Gleneagles Hospital. So apparently, while in debt, Mingyan, being the nice friend he is, visited the victim multiple times in June and July 2023 and somehow managed to guess the victim's phone and app passwords as a close friend. I hope people are not still using their birthdays as passwords, although we do not know what actually is a password, but reading this, being able to guess the phone and app passwords as a close friend, one can leave things to not really incredible imagination. And so he managed to guess the victim's password, and Yi used her phone to access her CPF account via SingPass. He then withdrew funds to her bank account and then transferred them to himself. 30,000 Singapore dollars on the first occasion, 20,000 Singapore dollars on the second occasion, and then 4,000 Singapore dollars on the third, totaling 54,000 Singapore dollars. Luckily, the victim's niece noted this transaction and questioned Yi. Yi lied, claiming ignorance, and said that he was also a victim of all these unauthorized transactions himself. And then he even forged a police report by editing his mother's real police report to appear as if he filed in August 2023 about the unauthorized transfers, and then show it to the niece, just to like placate her, to lie to her. He then became uncontactable, vanished in January 2024, finally leading to a police report by the niece in October 2024. And Mingyan's situation seemed to be really desperate. As you know, when he took those money from his friend's CPF account, he was already in debt. And even with 54,000 that he took from his friend, it seems that he still couldn't make ends meet. Because in October 2023, Yu actually borrowed 600 Singapore dollars from an unlicensed moneylender, but couldn't repay. So instead, he agreed to help facilitate bank transfers for the unlicensed moneylender instead, by opening a new account, and made at least 16 transfers for the unlicensed moneylender before being reported by a 44-year-old woman repaying unlicensed loans. His account was subsequently flagged and closed on November 14, 2023. And then we also have this issue where at July 2024, as we mentioned right at the beginning, he took 197 Singapore dollars from a petty cash box. People must be wondering right now, how much debt was Mingyan under that even 54,000 Singapore dollars couldn't solve his issue? We have zero context here, sadly. So investigation officers have confirmed by checking Yi's, financial reports and statements that he wouldn't be able to make any compensation to the victim. And as such, it is most likely he also would be unable to pay his 30,000 Singapore dollars fine and would have to stay in jail for at least 1 more month in replace of that. The judge has noted Yi's lack of calms in taking money needed for the victim's care and his forgery to conceal it. Although Yi claimed the victim still had about 166,000 Singapore dollars left in her CPF, that is unverified. But, even though Yi has been caught and sentenced, the sad thing is there is no compensation to the victim. That money, 54,000 Singapore dollars, is lost. Let us know what you think in the comments below.